Why, hello there. Guess what? I just got asked if I had a cigarette. And you know what I said? I haven't smoked in several years, so pat myself on the back. Anyways, this is going to be an update video about today and also to try to answer some of your questions, even though I didn't write it down. A lot of you have been following, me for a long time, and for me to be able to not answer your questions at this moment makes me feel bad, but I know that you understand because you are also wonderful and great. Anyways, how am I feeling this morning? I feel like shit. I'm right on the verge of crying my brains out again. Still feel the same. Still feel severely depressed. Panic isn't as bad as today, but still feel like I'm in front of their home and I'm not allowed to be in front of their home, and the whole neighbor situation and all that. So it has my heart pretty broken. I woke up crying. I did drive with snow all over. Can you see it in the background? But the roads were totally clear. And as you know, I have a massive fear of driving in any type of snow. But when I woke up this morning, I knew I had to get there. I had to get to my appointment with my new caseworker. Update on my new caseworker: fabulous, fantastic. I am hopeful. He even wants to see me next week. He wants to get this done. Bad part about this situation, he could find like a little place for us before he could find a trailer, possibly, because when it comes to housing, there's, a trailer, the cozy cabin, which is a travel trailer, is considered housing. There's just no way that there's nowhere that you're allowed to put it without paying $1 million of rent. So they don't even know if Section 8, would pay for something like that. They don't know if there's any place that does anything like that. But the good news is that he's going to work on it, and I trust that he's going to work on it. A fabulous guy. And really excited that he wants to see me next week, which is wonderful. There are services that are available for me supposedly out here, due to the fact that I have an SMI diagnosis from the state. But the bad part about it, is, I'm going to let y'all know, I've said it in videos before, but I have CPTSD, which is complex CPTSD. I can be happy and fine and everything, but my body can automatically react to stuff, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not afraid of that guy that's walking right in front of me. However, it depends how my body might react. My body might get stiff and go into fight or flight, even though I'm not afraid of anybody. Like, I could care. I'll beat the shit out of somebody. But it's just something that happens. It is a very complex, I would say, injury. I don't like saying disorder when it comes to PTSD and CPTSD, in my opinion, because it isn't a disorder. In my opinion, it is an injury. I've pretty much had a million story times that I can tell you I do extremely well regarding my life. And I just am extremely grateful that I've never been sexually abused. However, I have been in many situations where I will do story times at some time that has to do with, things that have happened when I was younger, accidents, kidnappings, you name it. So I do really, really well. Now, the problem is they have my diagnosis as bipolar, and I am not bipolar. I'm never like really, really high or really, really low. Can be on the fence, and I use gratitude a lot. And you know that if I use my videos to stay balanced. I'm really, really low because if you're in my position right now, you'd be really low too. I mean, think about it. I've lived in a fucking tent for hundreds of days, and the whole my son's situation and everything that went on with that, it is a traumatic experience to add to my already traumatic experiences. So I don't dwell in it and I don't cry about it, but I have so much potential, and it's like as soon as I'm moving forward, I'm always hitting all these roadblocks. So that's a problem, that they have me as bipolar and panic disorder, because that is not my true diagnosis. So we're going to work on that. On my real diagnosis, I don't even know where they got that from. You know, like, maybe because it's my sixth caseworker and they haven't, like, looked before they transferred me to a next caseworker. I don't know. I'm not saying it's anything bad that they have me down as bipolar, but I am very concerned with that because, as you guys know, I do have a child who was misdiagnosed as unknown mood disorder. And that did a lot to his life, and that did a lot to my life, fighting for a proper diagnosis. And when I did get my proper diagnosis, it really helped. It helped me, it helped people understand, you know, and such like that. And no, I'm not like, I mean, someday I'll do like a video on what that can look like. But to me, it's pretty much just physical. Right now, of course, I'm suffering from a lot of depression just because of everything. Like right now, I'm sitting in front of the phone store because I have $0 and 0 cents in both of my accounts. And usually I at least have 15 cents, you know. And so he was telling me that I can get a cell phone for free here, even though I have a cell phone, obviously. But it's always good to have, because eventually I won't be able to pay that bill the way I'm going right now, and it'll be nice to have a backup. And while I'm sitting here, the government doesn't know who I am. They have absolutely no idea who I am. So it's just me running into all these different situations all the time, you know, that causes the depression. It's not like, phew, 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 phew. If you see me happy, it's because I put myself in the place. I mean, you hear that phrase all the time that you can choose to be happy. You can't just like knock on the door and say, I'm going to be happy. It does take a lot of work. It takes a lot of gratitude for me. It takes a lot of focus and keeping in the moment. My mind doesn't tend to wander of the future of, oh my gosh, what if I can't pay my phone bill, and then this and that and this, because I do have a higher power in my life who I call God, and I believe that he's totally watching me, because anytime I get donations, whether it be $10, $15, $50, it's always at the perfect time. So I'm just trying to trust God, you know, what it has to do with all those situations. And someday I'll also do a story time on how I learned this. Another problem when it comes to getting the extra services with my SMI diagnosis is they have me down as this most wonderful person. And I know if you're watching my videos, you're going to be, you know, you'll say I am. But that doesn't change the fact of, you know, I do have CPTSD. It's not an excuse. It's not anything. I'm not going to say it's something I suffer with, because, I mean, sometimes I suffer, but I work real hard on getting myself out of the suffering, if that makes sense. So I am one of the lucky ones. I would really like to explain it, because a lot of people look at, you know, PTSD as, oh, you have to be in the war, or, oh, you have to have had, you know, this or that happen, and, oh, people, like, have memories of this and that and this and that, and it takes over everything. In my case, you know, like I'm saying, it is an injury. You know, I don't go there, if that makes sense. Fortunately, I don't go there. But I would have to pretty much, you know, explain it a lot in more detail. I did do a video of it, you know, before for you guys, in the midst of the tent, where I woke up, you know, with the CPTS injury, And I did explain, you know, how I was feeling, what was happening, how I was having no fear, but my body was reacting to everything. And it could happen. I'm not going to say it's normal, but I mean, think about it. I mean, think about everything I've been through, and I'm still going through. You know, I'm not getting a break to be able to show, you know, my goals and my potential, my enormous potential, because the roadblocks can be deliberating. I don't know if that's the word. I don't even know what deliberating means. It just came to my mind. It can be more than hard. So first things first. So I will see him next week. Regarding questions, why aren't I on BLM? What do you mean you can't live out in the forest for 30 days? Have you done this? Have you done that? I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, I've done that. I did get a really good comment. I did look that up, and there's absolutely nothing available for that, which is more of a long-term stay. If you have a travel trailer or such. The way that it works in Arizona when it comes to forests is you are allowed to be in the forest for 14 days only in a 30-day period. However, you're not allowed to live in the forest. Being homeless, you are considered living in the forest. Having a travel trailer without a physical address is living in the forest. So that is why they are saying, you know, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. I really do want to stay in this town, even though it's starting to make me want to really leave. There are reasons for that. As you all know, I want to do service the rest of my life. And I have actually all the material and everything that I need to start a service, if that makes sense. A free service, be of service. Let's just put it that way, to help people. I've been in this service. I've been doing this service. I don't even know, 10, 12 years. I actually was just doing it from the cell phone, place. I do it from the tent. I'll do it from wherever I have to. And I will explain that at another time, because the service that I do is what has saved my life, you know. And so I would like to there's my old work. Oh shit, I just beeped the horn. My old work just went by, so yeah, but I can't do it because I worked in the office for this job. I don't do what they do. So I couldn't do what they do because I can't walk up to people's houses because of dogs and such. I would turn around and run the other way. It's another thing that happened to me. I got my whole ass ripped off by a dog trying to jump over the fence because it was coming after me. And it hung from me. But that's not part of my injury. But maybe it could be. Like, I don't know. I remember it happening, you know, in slow motion. But I think that this town really needs, I'm not going to say the service. You know, I'm going to stop talking about it because I don't really want to get into it until I really give you, you know, the story time of why I am so positive regarding everything. How can I do this? How can I do that? Because a lot of people, you know, want to know. And I'm going back into the questions that I have not answered. How are my children? My children are wonderful. 2 of my kids I talk to every day, over and over and over. One of my sons did see my video, you know, about being kicked out yesterday. Unfortunately, because I tell them not to watch my videos unless I send them one. But I am super grateful that my son is so caring and loving that he did FaceTime me right away and ask how I was doing. And I told him, don't you worry about me. You know, I might be crying, but I'm going to get my ass out of this shit somehow. I just have to have faith and just continue to trust God. Older son I talk to all the time. Son that y'all know about, haven't really talked to him since Christmas, and that's okay. You know, I accept that. But I do know that he's doing well, and he is in a really good place with good people. And he does know that I am here at all times. So, and he knows that I love him. So that's really all that matters when it comes to him. I mean, there's a lot that matters, but I'm not going to, share everything. Can I live here in a spot? Absolutely, I can. The cheapest place I could find for the cozy cabin is $800 a month. I don't have $800 a month, and I can't look at the big humongous picture like, you need to get a job right now and you need to find a place for the cozy cabin, and where are you going to come up with this money? Because that's when my CPTS injury comes in, and I go into the freeze mode, if that makes sense. When I do talk about my diagnosis, I will go more into full detail of exactly what happens, but I'm not some psycho crazy person, and I really do want to talk about it because I do want you all to know that just because someone has depression, or just because somebody is bipolar, or just because someone is schizophrenic or something like that, doesn't mean they're psycho. And I shouldn't even say psycho because I have mental illness. Maybe you think I'm psycho and I don't care. But I'm hopeful today. I'm going to do my very best to let it go. Because there is nothing possible further that I will be able to do this weekend. I can't call anybody. I can't look for anything. There's nothing that I'm going to be able to do this weekend. So I'm going to try to work on self-care somehow. Try to work on acceptance of everything. Try to work on gratitude. Try to work on faith, as opposed to fear. True faith. And I'm hopeful today. And I have faith. But I'm just really glad that I went there with no expectations. Severely depressed when I went there. But I was in overdrive of, you have got to get there, and you're not going to worry about snow. You're not going to worry about anything. You are going to get there. And I prayed about it, and I got there. So that is my update for now. Obviously, the government still doesn't know who I am because they said they'd flag me down. I said, I'm going to sit in my car and vibe a little. I've probably been asked for a cigarette like 80 times since I've been in this town. Like, I'm in a little old town, like I told you, Mayberry-ish. And everyone smokes. Like, everyone smokes. And I'm proud to say, no, I'm sorry, I don't have a cigarette. I smoked for 35 years. And I only vape now, so... Yes, thank you for all your kindness. Thank you for all my love. Might have said the same thing 50,000 times. My heart is extremely broken now still over all of this. On the verge of crying. But I'm going to work hard on not letting it overtake me, if that makes sense. And then just crying and crying and crying. I haven't been living in self-pity at all. Very, very grateful for that. However, everything that's been happening is just so overwhelming at the moment, and it would be overwhelming for anyone. So, keep me in your prayers. Keep me in your positive thoughts. If you don't believe in God, I still love you. But I'm trusting my God. And I am his daughter, and please don't be jealous. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, bye.